judge only because we've forgotten our own inner beauty. When God created us, we were created good. We are good. When God creates, God makes no mistakes. Therefore, why do we judge? Instead of bothering to remember who we really are, our original beauty, which one might call the spiritual path, we have filled that space with forgetfulness, with willful ignorance, with this thing called judgment. But what is judgment? Judgment is a relative system that decides who deserves love and who deserves to be withheld from love. But if you remember the original design, who we really are, you know that everyone is good. Therefore, judgment is pointless. Let's take a closer look at pop culture and the popularity of things like shade, scandal, rumors, gossip. I'm reminded of the Douglas Adams quote, "Nothing travels faster than light, with the possible exception of bad news." When we look at this quote, we can actually use it as a litmus test. The more fast bad news spreads, the more we do not love ourselves. This is, of course, because all judgment, is psychological projection. When you judge someone, it is something in yourself that you're truly judging. And that is the true lesson of Jesus. There is another issue here. Judgment is not silly just because of the willful ignorance it brings. It's not just silly because of the psychological projection. Let's take one example of judgment. Let's say someone accuses you of having roaches as a pejorative. And of course, if you're accused of having roaches, you're considered poor, you're considered dirty, you're considered ghetto, etc. But let's look at the bigger picture here. We're all sharing this planet. It's the planet that contains roaches. Therefore, we all have roaches. You can, of course, choose to ignore the bigger picture and only focus on the small. You can claim, for example, I don't have roaches in my house. And that could be true. Congratulations. But if you want to focus on the smaller picture, let's take a closer look. Let's say that you don't have any roaches. Say there's not a single bug in your house. But the next time you make a meal, if you were to drop that plate of food on the floor, what would you do exactly? You would immediately clean it up. And why? Because you know if you left the food there on the floor, you would attract such bugs that don't exist in your house. You see, even if they don't physically exist, there's still that potential that they could exist. And you still have to take these preventative measures. Let us use another thought experiment to go even deeper. Let's say your home is pest-free. No rats, no mice, no bedbugs, no roaches, etc. You could be pretty proud of that place. But let's imagine you find one day a mouse scurry across the floor. How would that make you feel? You see, even though your place may be pest-free, is your mind pest-free? Is that potentiality, that fear of what could be, pest-free? Are your feelings pest-free? Are you not afraid of any pest or the potential of a pest? So you see, even if you physically in your own vicinity don't deal with pests, you are still psychologically dealing with them. We all have roaches. Imagine the person so proud of the roach-free home, and yet they cannot stand the thought of a single roach. I think this shows the insufficiency of the small picture. So let us return to the big picture, and let us transfer the implications of everything I've just said to other issues in the world. What does this mean about disease? What does this mean about finances? What does this mean about beauty, about social capital, about intelligence? We all have what we all have. We all share everything in the world. That is what it means. So the next time you drop that plate of food on the floor, when you clean it up, realize you're not just cleaning it up for you, you're cleaning it up for everyone else on the planet. Now you're starting to understand.